Good morning.
So we have about 9 on at the moment. So we have Louise, we have Maria, obviously Bob, Sai, I've got Michael from our office in Manila as well, and myself. And somebody got on an iPhone.
That's actually me.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, okay. So I have that session that is on from laptop, and I have an iPhone, so I can, if it's too many, I can drop off and
No,
join
that's fine, mate. No problem at all.
Okay.
Oh, is there a limit? Because I was going to also.
No,
okay.
no. There's no limit. There's no limit.
Oh, okay. Let me just. How do I change that from here? So there, that should be.
So we have Andrew on as well.
Hello, Andrew.
So just let us know when you want to when you wanted to kick off. So I think we've got Andrew, Maria, Louise, and I think that's it from your team at the moment, and yourself, obviously.
Yeah, Mark, I think we can kick off.
Okay, great. Excellent. Listen, thanks everybody for attending. Just for the purpose of this, and if you're okay with it, Luke, I had planned on recording this session, and that way we can provide that to you for your reference if that's required. Are you okay for us to do that?
Yeah, fine.
Perfect. Listen, thanks very much for the time. Really appreciate it. As I mentioned before to Luke, we have Bob Kennedy from AiRISTA Flow. He's the Senior Vice President for AiRISTA Flow, and we also have Sai on the call. Sai is actually the owner of AiRISTA Flow, and I think Bob and Sai will be going through the presentation around the hand hygiene compliance technology that we have. Obviously, open floor questions. Feel free to ask them as we're going. It's important for us that you walk away from this today, with as much information as you need to understand the solution and how we can implement it, and how it's going to benefit New South Wales Health going forward. So I shall pass over to Sai or Bob. Who's going to take the chalk first?
Well, Sai's going to take it, but who's going to actually do the demo? So I'll chime in when needed. So Sai, go ahead if we want to jump right into it. You wanted to give a little review, a couple slides, I think.
Sure. I think what I want to do, can I share my desktop?
Yes, you
can.
can.
You hit share screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So let me do that.
Sai is stepping in for Dietrich Butler, who is not available.
Right, I was volunteered for this, by the way. But Luke, when I found out that you're going to be on the call, Mark, of course, is going to be on. So I said, this is great opportunity for me to say hello, because I know we were trying to meet early on last year. I think doing Cisco Live, but never got the opportunity. So this was a great opportunity to join and say hello first. What I
we
wanted.
appreciate it.
If you don't mind, I'm going to take just a few minutes just to kind of give you an overview of what you're going to be seeing, what we're going to be demonstrating without you seeing it. I will turn the camera on to the product so you can kind of get a very good idea of what's what. But just wanted to at least give you a quick presentation of that kind of slide that covers the different pieces of hardware. So this is obviously, I'm start from the very basic room, bed, and also hallway devices that are iBeacon or beacons, basically BLE devices. We have wall pluggable devices that eliminate changing any battery, etc. But we also have battery operated ones as well. So these are beacons. We call these locators. And the locators identify locations. So whether it's room level or bed level accuracy that you're looking for to detect the hand hygiene related to that particular patient, we can actually do that. And so it would require these locators. The locators are beaconing information, primarily MAC address and other information, battery value, if they're battery powered, etc. And tags are scanning. Our tags basically are scanning for those. Tags are available both in BLE only or BLE Wi-Fi. And if it's a BLE only, it scans in BLE and also transmits the information to our basically devices in BLE. If it's a BLE Wi-Fi, it receives BLE data both from the locators and also the dispenser units. And I'll show you the images and not the images, but actually show you the devices that we have here, what we mean by the dispenser devices. But what we call a HDU, basically a hygiene dispenser unit, is a sensor that gets mounted on the dispensers. And once the dispenser is activated, then it transmits information and communicates with the tag back and forth. And essentially, that information gets back sent to the server, and then you can view the information from the software. So that is kind of what we're going to be going through today. I am going to, at some point, turn on the video, show you the actual tag, and then the dispensers and how they are working. And of course, as we go through this presentation, you're going to see the software working, and as I move tags, etc., around and do a wash and so on, you should be able to see all the updates on the screen as well. I will show you some of the information, some of the capabilities as far as the UVS is concerned, data mining capabilities, and how we collect information and where that information can be used. I'll talk about those, and of course, at the end, I'll open up come back to everybody, so you can ask any questions and we can go over through specific features if you like. With that said, given that we have limited amount of time, I kind of want to jump into the software. So this is, I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to see and work with UVS, but basically UVS, this is what we call the UVS console. UVS is also called Vision Plus. This is version 6 of UVS that you're looking at, and basically here, this is actually a cloud-based, so this is actually hosted on Amazon. When you log in, it's a role-based system, so based on what you have access to and what type of permissions you have and your role, you would be able to see and access different things. And depending on what you have access to, different dashboards, different type of things that you can set up, preferences get automatically loaded. In this case, I'm logging as admin. I have access to almost everything in the system, but to kind of think of this as where I would want to analyze data, look at information, and also see, generate reports and see also what's going on, manage information as well. This is an overview. I'm not gonna, just basically a dashboard, but basically a snapshot of the system tells you that you have 309 temperature sensors, 7 staff you're tracking, 72 people are being monitored for hand hygiene, approximately 3,000 assets, and 38 patients being monitored. And these dashboards that we have, as you will see, they're all basically interactive. Okay, just one second. All of a sudden I got a lot of feedback. Okay, now it got better. Sorry about that. So it's all interactive. So as we go through the dashboards, and we have specific dashboards for hand hygiene, so I'll go through that as well. So I'm going to get started with the hand hygiene, since that's what we are here for. But if you like, I can go later on through like the locating capability and searching and maps, etc. in more details. But to kind of give you a quick overview, this is what, for example, what we have in this system. And you have maps, so there's items that are all over the place. You're probably already used to seeing a lot of these things locating and rules applying to different things. So as you may have different models, different maps in the system, you can have showing those maps and basically identifying what the items are and finding out, for example, what that is and where it is and so on. So this is type of thing that you're familiar with and you've seen. So I'm not going to spend any time on that if that's okay.
Yep, fine.
So great. I'm going to jump in right now to the dashboard, to the hand hygiene section. First thing I'm going to do is kind of walk you through a demo. I was doing a few things here. What we have set up here is a tag. We call that nurse or individual hand hygiene demo tag. We have 2 rooms, and basically we have 2 dispensers, and we are basically going in and out, and we're going to show you the compliance versus non-compliance. So what you see here is a live view. We also have another live view, basically, that this is the type of live view that we would typically mount on a monitor in a unit. So for example, if you have ICU, they see their own information. And if you have another department, let's say this emergency department, they would have a TV, for example, mounted on a wall with this information being displayed. Basically, this information, just kind of what you see here, is all real time. So they what they get to see, I'm just, by the way, I'm just moving the tag right now, and I'm moving the tag from one room to another. So what I just did, so we get a non-compliant, and I didn't wash my hand. So what you see in this section, for example, is information that are real time, overall compliance and so on. And what you see on the right-hand side is a dashboard for that unit that says, the compliance by staff type, whether these are doctors or respiratory therapists or technicians or nurses. Compliance based, for gel in versus gel out, and of course, different types of information with but by unit overall. If you want to see that, of course, we show how much of it is soap versus alcohol. So we're capturing all that information, and of course, this is the overall for that unit, like for example, October 7, 2017, November, and how it's all going overall. Okay, so this is kind of neat because it shows them that information, historical data, but on the left-hand side, it's all real time. Excuse me. So the map gets updated as people, and this list here, if they had multiple tags, all the nurses in that unit would show up. So it's kind of neat because we're giving them real feedback, real time, so they can actually see, if you allow it. You don't have to do this, of course, but if you allow it, and if you want to give them feedback, we can eliminate the names if you wanted to, for example, but the unit can see their overall compliance. So they're 45% compliant. That's pretty bad. So they're all going to see that as day goes on, and they say, okay, today I've had 31 gel counts, gel opportunities and gel counts, but my compliance overall is only 45%. And this is, in terms of what we call changing behavior and adjusting, helping them get better. This is kind of giving that real-time feedback, as it's like someone is literally standing next to them and training them on an ongoing basis. Similar point of view, which is a real-time view over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick wash and come out and go to a different room. So you see the gel out, and this is what you see. And if I go over there, actually, you see the gel out there. And now we get, so I'm going to wait a little bit, that we should get actually an update on the gel in as well. So this one is not updating. This refreshes every so many seconds. So this is basically got to be keeping track of all the information for individuals. And what I mean by that is, if I go to look at an individual information, I can pick anyone within the organization, and I can go back to, let's just say I'm going to go back 2 months or so. So you can actually see that I have information for Pam Austin, literally going back and detail of saying what room they were in, when gelled out, gelled back in, whether they were compliant or non-compliant, and their overall number of opportunities, 726 opportunities, and 545 times. And basically, you got all the details. This information can be exported, for example, if needed. So now, to take it one level higher, I mean, we are collecting that information. Obviously, it's very important. And the reason we're doing that, because we want to improve compliance, but you really don't want to be looking at a screen, because that's not going to give you any value. What we strive at is we thrive to provide solutions that provide what we call actionable data. And in case of hand hygiene, excuse me, when we collect all that information, we want to put it and present it to the managers when they log into a system, to be able to look at the data and take actions. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. In terms of hand hygiene, obviously, there is some information here in terms of alcohol usage versus gel in, gel out, versus soap versus gel in, gel out compliances, and so on. But information about like improvement. So in 2016 versus 2017, we've had a significant improvement. So our compliance level is very, very good, right? I mean, it's gone up significantly. If I want to drill down, like I told you, all the dashboards you can drill down on all of them. I can actually go month by month, and you can see some of the months are, maybe this hospital was shut down during that month. But essentially, you can see the level of changes and the improvements. What's really actually important here is, like I said, actionable data, and what it means to us is that I can quickly come and sort here and look at my problematic areas. So MICU for us and this DMS mobile unit, these are the two problematic areas. And if I want to correct it, all I got to do is just click on that and see it brings up all of the employees for that particular unit. And that quickly I can go here and I can say, okay, Pamela AiRISTA is doing okay because it's right on the borderline, orange. But these guys are below our standard, which is that 75, 77%. So I really need to pay attention to these guys. And I can even further look at how many opportunities they've had and only really focus on those who are really going, like, for example, if it's a technician that only comes to MICU once a week, I don't really need to spend too much time, trying to correct her actions, if you will. But the individuals who are coming in and having more opportunities, that's where I spend more time. So it really identifies for you the